Well, hello. Today we're going to complete the studies of the production of sounds, especially vowels. We have already established that in order to get a standard English pronunciation, it is important we pay attention to the way in which our vocal organs behave. So let's see the content of my presentation. So today we're going to make some kind of revision of vowels. We're going to deal with a certain amount of information in relation to the previous class. Then we're going to talk about cardinal vowels in the sense of their meaning, what they are, and apart from that, why they represent the sounds that are inside of our mouths, their production. And we're going to finish with diphthongs. We're going to deal with central diphthongs ending in schwa or closing diphthongs ending in I, and closing diphthongs ending in U. Okay? Well, let's start with vowels. So let's make some kind of revision. We know that the different parts of the tongue can move horizontally or vertically to shape the vowel that it is producing. But there are other characteristics that we know that vowels have. They are always voiced. That means that there is always vibration of the vocal cords when you produce. The sound, the air, goes out through our mouth freely. So that's why they are always voiced. The vocal cords are always vibrating when producing the vowels. The tongue movement, as I was saying, it's also another characteristic of vowels. In fact, what we have to care is that the way in which the different parts of the tongue can move. So the tongue can move to the back, from front to the back in a horizontal way, close or open in relation to the roof of the mouth, high or low in relation to the position of the tongue, that is a vertical position. So your tongue in a horizontal way can move from the front to the back, and in a vertical way it can move in relation to the roof of the mouth, close to the roof of the mouth, or open, that means far away, or high or low, okay, in relation to the position of the tongue. Okay, so let's go to the different charts that we have. So we know that different parts of the tongue are moved to produce the sounds, okay? What we also need to remember is that we take the tongue in relation to the palate or the roof of the mouth. So when we see both charts, that is Underhill's and the cardinal vowels, we have to imagine that they are representing the movement of our tongue in the production of specific vowels inside our mouth. So let's see. Here you have a representation of these two charts inside of our mouth. So when we have this sound or this sound, the tongue and the different parts, because the tongue does not move in a fixed way, they made this kind of movements, horizontal and vertical, in order to produce the sound. So for example, if I want to say the sound it is a low sound or a open because it's very far from the roof of the mouth, but it's the hard palate. So it's a low or open sound. Front, the tongue will move far away from the roof of the mouth and also to the front. And this is according to Underhill's chart. The cardinal vowels are other way of representing the way in which the tongue moves inside our mouth. So for example, if we want to say the same sound, we know that it's a sound that is low or open, as it says here, and it's produced at the front. You see? Now we're going to see what cardinal vowels are, but what you have to take into account is that both charts represent the different ways in which the tongue moves to produce the different vowels. Remember that the tongue moves horizontally and vertically, yes? and it's not a fixed organ. It moves the different parts of the tongue move to produce the different sounds. So sometimes you can use the tip of your tongue, the front, or blade. Okay? So let's go. So as I was saying, the vowel chart that we have seen last class, if we imagine that it is inside our mouth, we have this representation. If you watch also Underhill's video, you will see that he also explains this. We have these different vowels in different positions and in different ways in which the tongue moves. So for example, let's take these three ones. We have this one first, E, E. In a horizontally, the E sound is a front vowel because you produce it at the front. The tongue moves to the front of your mouth. In a vertical position, it's close to the roof of the mouth because it is in contact. You say E and the front part of your tongue is up. It's almost touching the roof of the mouth. The roof of the mouth, remember that it is the palate. So it is close to the roof of the mouth, or we can also say it high because your tongue is high, or that part of the tongue is high. Okay? Let's take This is a central vowel. You can see it here. Yes? It's a central vowel, but it goes a little bit to the back because it's not it's You have to take a little bit further to the back the tongue. That's the difference between schwa and this one. So it's a central sound because your tongue horizontally is in the center of your mouth, but it goes a little bit at the back. In the sense of vertical, it's a central position because you're going to see that when we produce the word your tongue stays like floating, let's say, inside your mouth. Okay? Well, in the sound this one, you can see that it's a back sound. Why? Because your tongue moves in a horizontal way to the back. If you want to produce you have to carry your tongue to the back of the mouth and very far away from the roof of the mouth. That is to say, open or low. Your tongue should be low. Okay? Well, let's move on. Once we have revised what we have seen the other class, let's go to the cardinal vowels. So, as a definition, cardinal vowels are a standard reference system. Okay, they are another way of imagining the vowels inside our mouth and to specifically acquire the knowledge of the position of the tongue in the different vowels production. They are a reference system. These symbols that you have here are reference systems. They are not the symbols that we need for transcription. They are reference symbols. For example, I give you an example. This E that you have here, yes, is a close and front reference, yes, and there is no way in which you can produce this sound with any obstruction of the airflow. So, if you think about close and front, you're going to think that any sound that is near to this one, then you're going to see which one, it's a close front vowel and the air goes out freely, as in every vowel. So these symbols here, for example, this one that is the opposite of this one, yes, A, is the most open. So any sound or symbol next to this place would be open and back, yes. I mean, they are going to be open, very far away, and if it goes to the middle, it will be central, and if it is at the back, it would be a back sound, okay? If you think about this one, ooh, let's go to the extremes, right? We did E, we did A, and now we go ooh. This one, as a reference system, is a full close back vowel. So any sound near here will be something between central, the movement of your tongue will be something between the central and the back. Yes? The same happens with this one. Or let me see. Yes, with this one. Oh, or with this one. So any sound near here would be open mid, that it says that the level of your tongue would be no open but not close. Yes, and everything between these two squares are between central and back, or front or central and front. So this is a representation of the movement inside your mouth. It is clearer when you see diphthongs, because you will see how the tongue moves from one way to the other. It's from one sound to the other. We're going to see this later on. Okay, so let's see how the sounds that we have learned, the short vowels and the long vowels, I, the schwa, the o, the are all represented inside this diagram. Okay, so now you can see what I was saying as regards the proximity of these sounds to this reference. Remember that these are symbols that they serve as a reference. So, for example, as we have seen in the previous chart, in Underhill's chart, which I consider it is easier in the organization, you will see that this sound is closer to this one, which is a front close or front high vowel, and you will see that it's near. So everything that is near here is going to be a front close or a front high vowel. Yes? The same happens. You see this, if you see this, I, U, and you have Underhill's chart next to you, you're going to see that it's similar. It's the first line of his chart. Yes, you're going to see that it is the first line of his chart. Okay, well, then you have E, which is in the middle. You see, it is a front, but it's in the middle, half open, half closed, half open. This is the central one, and this is the central one, but the difference is that this one, it goes a little bit more to the back. Okay, well, and this is a reference system. So you're going to see that this, for example, is the first line of Underhill's chart. This is the second, and this is the third. Okay, later on you will see with the diphthongs how the tongue moves, because the tongue does not move as a chart like this. Okay, like lines. They move like this when you say I. Produce this. Try to do this now that you're watching the video. Try to repeat what I am saying. So let's try to do this, and you will see the movement of your tongue. You say I, U, U. You will see how it goes to front. It goes front, central and back. It goes from front, half and up to half close. I, U, U. The tongue is not open completely. Okay? So that's the difference between cardinal vowels. They are a reference system. Okay? So what we have to care also, it's the lip position as regards not only cardinal vowels, but about vowel quality in general. Yes? The way in which the lips are placed for pronunciation are rounded, spread, or neutral. Yes? So you have, here you have spread, these are rounded. And neutral would be something like this would be neutral. For example, for the sound E. For the E sounds, you make a smile, spread, you spread your lips. Yes? And you use this kind, rounded, spread, neutral, you use these things in different type of vowels. So those that go to the front, they have these neutral and spread lips, but those who are to the back are most of the times using rounded lips. So for example, when you have to classify the E sound, the first sound that we have seen, E sound is a front close vowel according to Underhill, or a front according to the cardinal vowels, or front high vowel, and its lips, or the lips are spread. So E is a front close vowel produced with spread lips. Yes?